Today is a great day, especially we're celebrating moms. And the thing about it is everybody can relate to your mom because everyone has one. So make sure that if your mom's not here today, that you reach out to her and tell her how much you love her and how much she's meant to you and everything. The title of the message today is A Mother, the God Inside of Her. A mother's love is an example of God's love for all of us. We've got to remember that. God doesn't just set up and put people on earth just for people to fill out spaces. There is a purpose and there is a reason for everyone on this earth. And today just happens to be a day that we celebrate mothers and everything like that. So if you're expecting a long sermon, we're going to get out early. Maybe you can go to another church and get that long sermon. Today, I wanted to focus on moms simply because they're special. Amen. There's no way around getting that message out. Moms are very special. Now, today is kind of unique for me and my siblings because today is the first day, the first Mother's Day that I get to celebrate without her. Now, I'm not sad. I'm kind of joyful because I look out and I see all the mothers and y'all are filling that void in my life, in my sister's life. We loved our mother. She was a great woman. She instilled a lot of values that we tried to present in the ministry to you. We will never forget her. She's always in our heart. And to be honest with you, every time I see a mother out here, you remind me of her. Each one of you bring a unique perspective in life, and it's wonderful. Now, with that being said, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 4. Very familiar scripture, especially on Mother's Day. But it says, "You should know of the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God." Right here, they're referring to a mom. A mom's spirit is so precious. Now, I remember growing up, I know Sister Millie was talking about her mother and I guess her station wagon that had a hole. Oh, you had the Plymouth. Okay. Well, I too had a GMC Hornet. Okay. I'm sorry? No. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was an AMC. Yes, Hornet. Yes, absolutely. And it was given to me by my sister and her husband, and I was so proud of that car. Now, that car was burnt orange, so if you're a UT fan, it was great. But what was so unique about it is that it had those hubcaps. I haven't seen them since. But you know how dogs like to go up to the wheel of a car and use the bathroom? These hubcaps, that dog could not do it. He would get injured. So one day, I'm just going to leave that image to y'all. I'm not going to expand that anymore. But with that car came in little quirks and stuff like that. So one morning, my brother rode to school with me, so he went out there and started the car to warm it up for us and everything like that. Well, he found out that it had a flat tire, so he got the jack out. He was going to change it for us and everything like that. So he did and everything like that. So we get in the car, and it happened to be a day that it was raining. And he sat on the passenger side and everything like that. So we go to school. He never said anything to me. Later that day, that's exactly how I felt later that day. I had my girlfriend, and she was a cheerleader. So she was one of those so snotty little cheerleaders that you imagine and everything like that. I don't know why we were together because that's not my personality. But anyways, she was riding in the passenger side. And like I said, it had been raining and everything like that. So we're going down the road, and the water is splashing the windshield and everything like that. And all of a sudden, I look over there, and she is drenched. What my brother failed to mention that whenever he was jacking up the car, he put the jack not in the right spot, and it ended up going through the floorboard. So what he did is he just covered it up with the floor mat. So needless to say, we didn't last very long after that. So I can relate to a whole, okay. Yes. So, but I drove that car, and it was a great car. Okay, right now I'd like to bring up, on August 16th, 1987, Northwest Airlines Flight 255 crashed onto a highway in Phoenix. It had just taken off from Detroit. It had just taken off from Detroit, and it happened to crash and killed 148 people, 6 crew members, and 2 people on the ground. When the rescuers arrived at the scene, they assumed that no survivors would be there. But they found a 4-year-old who was injured and was very much alive. As you can see, this is the actual footage of the crash site. And Chris, won't you forward it one more time? And this is the family. This is the father, her brother, Cecilia, and her mother. After the investigation, they found out that the only reason she survived is because of the mother. Now I'm going to read this because I don't want to mess it up. I want you to realize exactly what a mother will do for their child in the most dire straits, in the most unforgiving conditions. And I don't doubt that there's not a mother in here that would do the same thing for their child. Here's what happened. As it became obvious that the plane was going to be in distress, Cecilia's mother unbuckled her own seatbelt, wrapped her arms and body around her child, and would not let her go. Nothing could separate the child from her mother at that point. Not tragedy, not disaster, not the falling from the sky or the flames that followed. Not height nor death. Nothing in life or nothing in death. Now when you look at that, can you just imagine the mother consuming her daughter, protecting her with everything that she had, knowing that they were going down. And because of that love the mother showed her, she survived. She was the only one that survived this particular plane crash. I know that's a sad story, but I want you to realize that's exactly what God did for us. He came down from his seat in heaven, sacrificed his body. Just imagine, just wrapped his love, his arms, his body around you and protected you. Now, as we celebrate moms today, so many of us can think back about good times and bad times with our moms. But what I can always remember about my mom is that she was always there. In every sermon, it seems like I always say, you know what? Friends will desert you. Friends will leave you. Family will even do that. But God will never leave you. He will always be there for you. Isn't that just a fitting picture of a mom? I mean, no matter what you did, no matter how much you disrespected her, went against her wishes, she was always there for you. And I guess that's what's so special about moms. They'll never give up on you. Now, I always say that Sis is my biggest fan. And she is. But so was my mom. All right? Because my mom knew the struggles that I had as a young boy, just like your mom does. She continued to pray. She continued to back me in whatever I did. Never a word of discouragement. Always a word of uplifting. And that's what I love about moms. That's what I love about the new moms that Sis and I have in this church. The the Spirit-filled or the church mothers, as you might say, y'all are always so encouraging. Y'all are always uplifting. You're not here to criticize or tear people down. Mothers build characters. Mothers are special. Just remember that. We have lost our earthly mother, but we are now wealthy with Spirit-filled and church mothers. I would like to honor all the mothers today with a little note from the pastor's heart. I'm going to ask Sister Jeanette to come up here. She's our associate pastor, so we wanted to write something that was especially for you mothers of our church. If you would, please.
As I look out at our congregation this morning, I see so many mothers that we have gotten to know and love. Women who have mothered, grandmothered, and are now great-grandmothering. Women have endured tantrums, sleepless nights, dirty diapers, teen drivers, endless grocery shopping, not just grocery shopping,
I know.
and limitless housework. Some of you work full-time and mothered full-time. I don't know how you did it. One thing is for certain, being a mom is one of the most difficult jobs created. Yet for many of those here, Mother's Day is a difficult Sunday. Maybe you are like Naomi in the Bible, a woman who watched as her young sons perished and was left childless. Mother's Day is so difficult to you because you are reminded of the precious children you have lost. Maybe you are a woman like Eve. She was the mother of all living, yet she watched as her eldest son struck down her beloved child, Abel. Mother's Day is difficult to celebrate when you have a wayward child. It has always been a discouragement for mothers to watch their precious sons and daughters reject all that they so lovingly and gently taught them. It's tough. Maybe you are like Hannah, a woman who was unable to have children, but was granted grace. She conceived a child and dedicated Samuel to the Lord, watching him grow up in the temple, honoring and serving the Lord. Your children are a reminder of God's grace in your life. When your children walk in the ways of God, they are a blessing to you. Motherhood is a joyful sorrow, a mournful gladness. You spend all of your energy raising and preparing your sweet children to grow up and to leave you. Yet God puts such value in motherhood. One of the 10 Commandments specifically commands us to honor our mothers. You may be in the midst of the difficulty of full-time motherhood, or your children may be grown. You may have no children, or you may mourn the loss of your children. Whatever circumstances you as a woman may find yourself in, God has given you a church that is meant to comfort you as a mother. You may feel like you have nowhere to turn. Turn to the church. And you will find shelter in a warm embrace. For those of you who feel like motherhood has passed you by, like you have no one to mother, you are wrong. In Matthew 12, Jesus tells us that we who do the will of God have been gathered into a new family, the women of the church. If you are a woman in the church, you have a whole congregation of children to mother. Each of the younger men and women in our church needs your counsel. They need your encouragement, your guidance, and your help. Our children need grandmothers who will teach them the Bible as Timothy's grandmother did. Our young women need mothers to teach them how to be good wives. Women, our churches need mothers. Will you step up and fill that void? On this Mother's Day, will you commit to sharing your gentle love and encouraging spirit with the members of your church. We need you. We have been placed in your church. You have been placed in your church to love us, to care for us, to pick us up when we fall, and to guide us. May God grant comfort to your soul and help you to find joy.
Sister Jeanette, thank you for reading that. As I was compiling that for you mothers, there was so much more I wanted to put in it. But I knew if I did it and I asked Sister Jeanette to read it, we probably wouldn't get through it. So trust me, it said a lot, but it was from the heart. And we truly need mothers. We need godly mothers. We need godly grandmothers and great-grandmothers. We just need you. And not just this church, all the churches around this city and around this world needs women just like you.